Hello, hello, hello. Come in and give God the glory this morning. Come in and thank Him for letting you see another day. And for the ones that didn't, we're going to pray for them and their families. I am Miss Vina, aka Queen Diva, as it is on my pages. I am coming today to give a part of my life story while I cook and make a beef stew. I'm gonna come and tell you a little bit about me, as well as much as I can remember as a child growing up, and give you a little bit about what else I do as well. And I hope I can be heard. I hope everything is up. And whatever you hear in my background, I just not own the rights to. It's probably my TV as well. Let's get started. I am 51 years old. I was born in Texas. I was born in Dallas, Texas. But I grew up in a town away from here, because at the age of 3 days old, my mom gave me to my great aunt, which is I consider as my grandma and my grandpa. She gave me to them. And I had a sister that was older than me, but she gave me to my grandma first. And then later on, she gave both of us to her. And my grandpa. But my grandmother, she had a daughter as well, which was her only child. Her only child. And she was older than me as well. But when my mom gave me to my grandma was up in age. She was every bit of this is my beef stew meat. I'm cooking it first. I'm just letting it brown. I'm just letting it brown a little bit. But my grandma, she was up in age when my mom gave us to her. My grandma had to be every bit of in her 60s or something like that. And her late 60s. She had to be up in age. Real up in age. But that didn't stop her. My grandma was the type to take everybody in. If they didn't have a place to go, you could come to my grandma's house. You got a place now. So I had a good childhood so far when I was younger. I enjoyed being around my papa and my grandma. My mom, she would pop in every now and again, but she didn't stay around too long at all. But she would pop in if she needed. My grandma, she would pop in. Pop in and pop out. So I didn't even see her as my mom. I saw my grandma as my mom. And my grandpa as my dad. And if I hadn't known any better, I probably would have thought they was my mom and my dad. Because I was so little that I used to sleep in the bed with my grandparents. They used to have me in the middle, and I would sleep in the middle all the time. I would pee in the bed, and you know what they would do? They would cover it up and let me continue to sleep. And they would sleep too. That's how loved I was with my grandparents. I don't remember, but I remember being told that I grew up on 180 acres. I grew up on a farm. We had all kind of animals, all kind that you could think of. And we ate off the land. We ate everything my grandparents grew. We didn't go to the town for nothing. If we went to the town, it was to get stuff for my grandma to make our clothes with or something like that. Other than that, my grandparents grew everything that we ate. And they used to call me a cow milk baby. Because I was so big as a toddler. So they would call me a cow milk baby. And I really didn't never get in no trouble, no whoopings. My grandparents never whooped me. Ever. And then when I came the age of 3, me and my grandparents got into a real bad car accident. I had a body cast from head to toe. I don't remember this, but this is what I was told. I had a body cast from head to toe. My grandma, she broke her hip. My grandpa, he had a head full of glass. Which he had a little bit of cut on his head. And they said if it weren't for that little bit of cut, that he would have bled to death. I mean, not bled to death. If it weren't for that little bit of cut on his head, his brain would have swollen. But that little bit of cut on his head saved his life. So, I had a body cast from head to toe. Half of my tongue was cut out my mouth. A little piece of meat was holding it together. And I have the scar on my tongue right to this day, where the doctor told my grandparents that it would heal by itself. And it did. I had to go to speech therapy and all that when I was coming up. But we were still in the country. My grandparents and them decided to move out the country because every time we stayed by the prison farm, and every time prisoners would escape, they would come to our house and tear it up while we was in town or something. So my grandma got scared. She didn't want nothing to do with the country after that. So we ended up moving to the city after all the prisoners started escaping and doing all that. Because where I grew up, it was on a family farm. I mean, the whole family stayed on that farm, but everybody started moving out. So it just left me and my grandparents there. My grandparents there. So eventually, they decided to move out too. And we got to the city, moved to the city. I don't really remember moving to the city, as I was saying, but the time that I remember about the city was when everybody used to come down. All my aunties, my uncles, everybody used to come down and visit. Everybody, my grandma. At this time, it was me, my sister, and my grandma's kid, and her daughter as well. It was all of us in the house. It was me, my sister, my grandma, my grandpa, her daughter, and the daughter. So we had a house full. But my grandma would still take people's kids in. If they was hungry or they needed help, they could come there. They could come there. And they did. Trust me, they did. We always had a house full. Even if we had to sleep in the dang kitchen, we slept in the kitchen. And we didn't complain about it neither. But just got a place and you slept. And that's how it was the entire time I grew up. That's how it was. My grandma would take in my aunties and uncles, kids. They mamas would send their kids to my grandma because they couldn't handle them, something like that. And that's how it was. So my grandma took so many people in that she didn't have time to do nothing else. And they had mamas, but they couldn't handle them. My grandma, they shipped them to my grandma. Ship them to her. I'm gonna do carrot, celery, and potato. So they would ship them to her, and we was happy, me and my sister. You know, my sister, she was born when she couldn't walk or talk. She would go back and forth to all the hospitals to try to make her walk, and she couldn't, and she could barely talk. She could only say certain words, and they say she was born like that because my mom went to her sister's funeral while she was pregnant, and that's how she became like that. So who knows? That's what the old people said back then. So you don't know. You don't know, because back then, that was in 74, 5, 78, back off in there. So they didn't really have doctors like they got now. She probably could have walked if she was in this age and time now. But so I had to help take care of my sister. I had to help my grandparents, you know, change her, feed her. By this time, I have to be about 5, 6, about 4 or 5. I have to be about now, about 6, 8. I say about 5, 4 or 5, somewhere. I don't really remember how old I was really at that time. But I didn't mind helping my grandma. She would be up all night cooking, and we get up in the morning, we got something to eat. So it was good. It started getting bad when I started school. That's when it started getting bad, because I was bigger for my age. I was developing more. And my grandma was still taking people in. And she took in one of my uncles. And that's when everything started. And I was maybe 8 at this time. And he started giving me money for school, and I thought that was something good. Thank you. I could buy candy when I was at school. Then he used to sneak in the living room, because we didn't really have a bedroom. So I slept in the living room. My sister slept on the couch in the living room. So we never had a bedroom or nothing like that. And my grandparents, they slept back in the back. So they ain't gonna hear nothing that's going on in the front. But before I get to that, at this time, my grandma's daughter had moved out, but she had a daughter. So my grandma's daughter would take care of her daughter. So it was, us in the house, 3 of us. And then my cousin and them, they used to always come down and visit. And my cousin, she had also, she was the one that also stayed there with us all the time. So it was me, my sister, my grandma's daughter, and my cousin and her boys. But she was in and out. She wasn't there all the time. So by this time when all of this was happening, she wasn't there. And my grandma's daughter had moved out by then because her mama took her from my grandma's daughter. And boy, was she mad when she took her daughter from her. Woo! Because that girl was a queen to her. Was a queen. She treated her like she was a princess. And we wasn't nothing. For Christmas, we wouldn't get nothing hardly. But that little girl would get everything. Me and my sister never had a real Christmas. We didn't get toys and nothing like that. Like that little girl did. That little girl got everything. And me and my sister would just be there like, but we didn't understand it. We didn't understand it until I got older enough to. But I mean, we would get something, but we wouldn't get something like we should have got. As kids, we maybe got 1 or 2 presents, something like that. That was it. But we didn't really understand either, so but we were just happy because me and my sister was together. So, and by this time my mama had slacked off by coming to Texas. By this time I didn't really know where she was, but she would call, but sometimes she wouldn't call. So, and then sometime my dad would come down, and sometime he wouldn't. But my grandma wasn't gonna let us go back with them. We wasn't going nowhere, cause she didn't trust that family. She didn't trust my aunties and uncles and all that. So we couldn't go nowhere. Period. Not out of our sight. And like I was saying, by this time, my uncle was there. And it was me and my sister washing this stuff out. It was me and my sister at this time. my uncle, and that was it. So, he used to sneak in the room with me and touch me. And I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know. I just laid there. And then he told me, if you don't ease up, I'll touch your sister. And I was like, what? Wait a minute. I was like, wait a minute. What? What? You what? So at this time it wasn't no penetration or nothing like that. It was just getting on top of me, hunching me, feeling, kissing, like that. It wasn't nothing like at this time. So I had to be about 7 when that started. Finally, he got a little girlfriend. So when he had a girlfriend, he didn't mess with me. But when he was by himself, that's when he would touch and rub and feel and grind. And but one night, I was about 9, 8ish, 9. That's when it went further. That's when it went further. And I remember him saying, I popped your cherry. And I didn't know what that meant. But I knew I was bleeding. I knew I was bleeding. So my grandparents, they just thought that my period came. And I couldn't tell nobody. He told me not to tell nobody. I couldn't tell nobody. And then he was giving me money, and so I'm not knowing what's going on. I'm not knowing what it is or nothing like that. I'm a kid. I don't know what's going on. But I know it continued until I was 13. And then I end up finding out I'm pregnant by him. Don't know about it. I still ain't told nobody. And I'm pregnant. So I tell my neighbor. She tell my grandma and daughter. My grandma and daughter say, quit lying on that boy. Telling me I'm lying on him. Why am I lying on him? So, didn't nobody believe me. My grandma was up in age. She didn't know what was going on. She was in her 70s at this time, late 60s, early 70s at this time. Her daughter doing everything now. Her daughter over everything now. Her daughter, she don't know what's going on because her daughter got everything going on. So I ended up being pregnant, but her daughter said I was messing with boys and that's why I'm pregnant, that I was hot in the butt, hot in the ass, and all kind of stuff. But I'm knowing that I wasn't. And then all this time, he ended up, him and my cousin, end up being serial rapists. So I'm thinking, okay, now it's gonna come out. Now it's gonna come out because he raping women. So now they gonna believe me. Huh? Not. My whole family hated me because I was telling what he had did. And they still didn't believe me. So I just left it alone because well, nobody gonna believe me. So but by this time DSS got involved, because why is it this 14-year-old child had a baby? Come on now. Why? They want to know. So by this time the house is a mess. I can't clean the house like it needs to be clean. My grandma's daughter is gone all the time with this man. So the house is a mess. We got maggots everywhere. And we can't take a shower because the bathtub is cluttered with clothes. We can't take a bath. I haven't took a bath in 4 or 5 years. So the house was a mess. I had to wash out our clothes by hand on the damn scrub board. So they come out and they see all this. Now my daughter was in the hospital the whole time because she was premature. She was born premature. So she didn't come out the hospital until she was 5 pounds. So she was in another part of Texas by this time. because she was at the children's hospital. So, she didn't come back to where I was at until she was better, because she was born 1 pound 0 ounces. She was born 6 months early, because at this time I had became wild. I had got wild. I stopped wanting to go to school. I started running away from home. I started sexual acting out. I ended up getting raped when I was 14 by 6 guys. 6 guys that I trusted because I grew up with them. And still, nobody believed me because they was friends with my grandma's daughter, mom. So even though this white man brought me home butt naked with no clothes, because they asked me if I wanted to, excuse my language, suck, fuck, or walk. And I said I will walk. Well, that wasn't good enough for them because they still raped me. But at this time, I was running. I didn't like school because the whole time I was in school, I was being bullied, talked about, made fun of. So I really hated school. I didn't like school at all, period. Because I was always felt like I was bullied and I was made fun of and I was teased, and I didn't like school at all because of everything that they was, doing, that they had done to me in school. So I would run away from home and I would go to the police department and I would tell them that I was out of town and I didn't have no place to go, and that I was here trying to get somewhere to eat and somewhere to sleep. That's what I used to tell the policemen. That's what I used to tell them. Until one of the men knew me. And he was like, ain't you the little girl that lives across across the street from my mom. And I was like, oh no, that's not me. That's not me. Well, he knew it was. So he take my butt. Well, he didn't take me. He called my grandma's daughter and told her to come get me. That I was at the police department. Trying to get food. And you talking about somebody embarrassed? I was so embarrassed. And I was hurt because I didn't want to go home. I didn't want to go back there at all. Because I didn't want to see him. And I didn't want to. So I started running away again. This time I ended up in California. This time, now that I had the baby. So now I'm just running away. Now I end up in California with a truck driver. I didn't know him. From Adam and Eve. But I end up on Skid Row. I end up prostituting. I end up trying to make money. I end up on websites. I end up coming back to Texas. This time, DSS done took everybody. My daughter, my sister, my grandma, my grandpa, everybody. And they leave a note for me that if I want to be with my child, I would come and turn myself in at the DSS office. That's what I did. At this time, I go, I turn myself in, I go, and I try to be with my daughter, but it's so hard because she looks like him, and I done started acting out, I done started hurting myself, I done started cutting, I done got depressed, I done started acting, I done started not knowing who or what to do. Now I am learning how to take a bath. I hadn't took a bath in so long. It felt so good. I took a bath. I learned how to take a bath. I learned how to smell good because the kids in school, they tease me. They said I smell. They said I stunk. They said I smell like pee. They was bullying me. They were pulling my hair, messing up my clothes when I was a kid. They just hurt me. And I couldn't even tell nobody. So, at this time, I'm learning how to take care of myself like I'm supposed to. But I'm also trying to commit suicide, and because I'm remembering everything that's happening to me, that done happened to me. I'm remembering. And I remember the table that he used to put me on. I remember. And I'm started having flashbacks of all of this. Being tied up because he kinky, like the kinky stuff. He tied me up, and I'm remembering, and I'm having flashbacks to all this. And I'm wishing that I could have left the house like my little cousin did. I wish my mom and them had came and got me too, like my little cousin mom did. But they never did. They never did. And I was made to be there. So I ran away. Then I got I started remembering how a family is supposed to be. I started seeing on TV, and I started wishing that that was me. I started trusting my foster parents. I was trusting them. And I trusted them too much because I trusted them and they hurt me because I never had nobody I could trust. And they got me split up from my child because they said I put her in the icebox. I put her in the microwave. I set her on the stove. I pushed her in the bushes. She was a baby. So At this time, I was 18. The DSS said, gotta split you up. And I said, no, nope. No splitting up. I'ma leave. So I was going with the boy, and I left and moved in with his family, him and his family. And I stayed there until the time when I went back to my grandma and my grandpa. And I went back to take care of them, because by this time my grandma had to be 101 and my grandpa maybe 107. They was way up in age. So by this time my grandma was bedridden, because her daughter told me that when they came and took us from her, she was always looking for us. And when we wasn't there, she went down with a broken heart, because she called for us. So I did speed all this up some, I know. So, in school, I used to play sports. I used to be in powerlifting, weightlifting. I used to be in basketball. I did track. After I got away from the school where I was being bullied at, and once I got into the school where I was in foster care at, then I played all these sports. And I was enjoying how it felt to be a normal kid. But I wasn't a kid anymore. I was getting ready to turn into an adult, and I didn't know nothing. I didn't know nothing. I didn't know how to love. I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know how to say how I feel. I didn't know how to, nothing. Nothing. I didn't know how to express my feelings. I didn't know how to express me. I didn't know if I loved me. I didn't know. So I came back to help my grandparents. Well, I got with the guy that stayed next door, which was my friend brother. He turned me on to crack cocaine. Up. Got on to crack cocaine. But see, I was always the type of person that I want to see what it feel like. I want to see. I'm curious. So when his sister then was telling me that he was doing it, I asked him, I said, do you? And he told me the truth. He said yes. So I told him, I said, go get some. I want to try it. And I was off and running ever since then. Off and running. I was tricking. I was doing it all. But I would go home and I would take care of my grandma and my grandpa. And when their daughter would get home, I would leave. I would leave at night and come back in the morning. And that went on for years. Years. Until I got with this guy and he was like, enough is enough. So then I got clean. I started going to church. But me and him got married. But I wouldn't stay at home. I love men's. Anybody told me I looked good, I was gone. I was off and running. And he stood by me the entire time. He would tell me, just come home. Just come home. And I would come home, but I would go again. I would go again. And that's how my life went until I was 26. Then I got a job, but I still was trying to commit suicide all the time. I still was depressed. I got hospitalized because I'm not dealing with what's in my head. All this stuff is in my head, and I can't get it under perspective. I can't get it right. I just can't find somebody that I could trust to talk to. So I'm blocking it. I'm blocking it the whole time. And I end up finding my mom and my dad. I go visit my dad on the weekend. I will go back home. I went and saw my mom. I think I was 27, and she was in Massachusetts. And I went there to see her. I came back. Then I went back again. And I started seeing all this stuff. She would go, she would come back, go, come back. We would go riding a long way, we would come back. Not knowing what's going on. My stepdad, he was there. So I'm not knowing what's going on. I didn't find out what really was going on until the third time that I went back up there. Then I found out they was on heroin. That's when my life changed again. got on heroin. My mom shot me up. She shot me up. Because I think at this time, I had got pregnant by my uncle. This wasn't molesting. This wasn't, my mom's side of the family, I never knew. I never grew up with. So I didn't know my uncles like that, or my aunties. I only know one auntie, well, two aunties I really knew. And this wasn't rape, this wasn't molesting, this was incest. I started sleeping with my uncle. I got pregnant. I was in so much pain with that baby. My mom gave me a shot to help me. And I was on it ever since. By this time, me and my uncle is together. We're in a relationship. I get pregnant with a set of twins. Well, with the first child, I went through all kind of stuff. I was on heroin. We didn't have no heat. We didn't have no lights. I'm smoking crack. I'm shooting dope. I'm going to the hospital. My social worker is taking me to the hospital to take a bath. I'm living it, and I'm not living. And I finally said, enough is enough. So me and my uncle, we moved to another part of Massachusetts. Found out I'm pregnant with twins. I stopped everything. Not doing nothing. Ended up having the twins. One of the twins died because they had caught MRSA, but one lived. At this time, I'm doing good. I think I'm doing good. Me and him together, nothing. End up having the twins. Met a couple that stayed in the apartment complex where we stayed at. They was getting high. I befriended them. Then I started getting high. There you go again, smoking crack again. By this time, DSS is involved because me and my uncle got into a fight and the cops called DSS, so now they involved. So, it's time to go. Because I don't want them to take my baby. So, we gotta leave. Came back to Texas. Boom, staying with my grandma. Don't nobody know we in Texas at this time. Boom. Here come DSS. How y'all know we in Texas? But I'm clean, so it don't matter. Okay, I'm doing what they say do. They close the case. Bam. End up getting on heroin again. get off of it again. End up getting pregnant again. Stayed clean until I had the baby. End up getting heroin again. This time, I got me a little apartment. So now I got me a little apartment, and me and my uncle still together. End up falling for this dude. What I do that for? End up falling for him. Me and my uncle break up. This guy ended up moving in with me. So we end up getting into a fight. I put him out. So end up pregnant with him. This time I'm gonna start her back on the coke. End up going back up to my mom because I can't pay the bills. Now I gotta go. Now I got 6 kids. Going back on heroin. DSS looking for me. I'm running. Can't stay still long because I know they coming. Because now I'm paranoid. DSS everywhere. I'm paranoid because I know they coming. And me and this dude got into it. He called the police on me. For taking his phone. Bam. They got me. But the whole time, this preacher is helping me the whole time. He helped me with my addiction. He helped me with my kids. He helped me, even though he helped me the wrong way. But he still helped me. He made sure that I didn't have to go out there and hustle for my addiction, that he had it for me. And he's the only one that really helped me when I was in my addiction. He took me and my kids in. When I didn't have nowhere to go, he took us in. When I was living on the edge, he took us in. When I didn't have no money for Pampers or nothing like that, he got it for me. So he helped me the entire time. So I really thank him. I thank him because he did help. Okay, so this is, they done came. They want me to go do a drug test. Bam, I can't because I already know what time it is. Wait. I'm moving too fast. I told y'all he called the police on me, right? He called the police on me. Bam, police come out to the house. The police come and search the house. I got a doobie of weed in the ashtray. I got a doobie in the ashtray. Bam, they called DSS. Damn it. They called DSS. The boy that I was with, he told him, it's not hers, it's mine. By it being my house, I get the charge. So, they called DSS. Here comes DSS. Yep, I do nails too. Here comes DSS. So, I'm gonna do a set of nails. Do a set. So, here they come. Here they come. Want me to do a drug test? I can't do a drug test because I think I'm gonna use these. I can't do a drug test. So, I don't go when they tell me to go. So the next day, they come and take my kids. They come and take them. I was at a doctor's appointment with 2 of them. So they told me, if you don't bring the other 2, you're going to jail. I didn't want to, but I had no choice. So I called them and I told them where we was at. And they came and got the kids. So at that time I was pregnant. So I'm trying to find a facility that I can get into. Well, ain't nobody let me get into no facility. Ain't nobody accepting me. Because for one, I got help see. For two, I'm pregnant. And won't nobody help me. So I tried to go get help way before this happened. But won't nobody help me. I tried to get help with my addiction. Won't nobody help me. And I did try to go into a facility to get help before DSS even got involved. And you know what they did? They sent DSS to me. And I was trying to get help. So I was like, so after they took the kids, I tried to get help the entire time. I tried to get help the entire time. And I couldn't. I couldn't. When nobody helped me. Nobody. So what do? I even asked DSS, can y'all help me? Nothing. Nothing. No help. The entire time I tried to get help, it took me the longest to get help. And nobody helped me. I had to do it myself. So I had the baby, we was clean. And they still took the baby. Even though I was clean, they still took him. So after that, I got back into my addiction. I was in my addiction bad after that. Because I was like, ain't nobody helping me but me. And I tried, and I still couldn't get no help. And I tried. So I just felt guilty. I just, not guilty, I just wanted pity patty party. That pity patty. And this probably went on a year. And finally, they told me if you go into a program and you stay longer than 6 months, we'll have the kids to come there and be with you in the program. bet that's what I did. I went into a program. I was there for 90 days. I asked them, okay, y'all gonna let the kids come? Nothing. 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 I did 7 months in the program. 7 months. Seven months. Let me pull my cuticle back. Push my cuticle back. 7 months. Nothing. They lied. They lied. So then I went to a recovery house. Okay. But before I did that, let me go back some. After they had took the kids, me and my mom and my stepdad, we was using, drugging and bugging, staying here and there. We stand up under the bridge in the tent. We stayed in a damn shed. We stayed everywhere. Yeah. When we was in Massachusetts, we stayed in the cold, in the snow. We didn't have nowhere. But thank God they had shelters. So, yeah, if I tell y'all, addiction is real. Addiction is real. And if you ain't got no support system, I believe in having a support system back then. Someone you could trust. Somebody that's not gonna turn their back on you and tell your business, and because I didn't have nobody, and I tried to do everything, and once I did everything, it wasn't good enough, because after I got clean and I stayed clean, then they decided to even take my rights. Then they didn't wait, they took them after I had got clean and had job, 2 jobs, had a place, and they told me time ran out. Time ran out. Time ran out, but I didn't have nobody helping me. So if I had somebody helping me, I could have got it done with in a length of time. But I didn't have nobody helping me. Not one person. Like DSS. Not one person in their field helped me. And then they wasn't supposed to take my son because we was clean. But they did. They did. So do I trust the system? No, I don't. I don't. I know. And so, but once I got out of my program and went to my halfway house, I stayed in the halfway house. I think about 2 years, and I worked while I was at the halfway house. And I went to Ohio because I met my daughter, and she wanted me to come to Ohio, and I went to Ohio. Then I ended up coming back to South Carolina, where my parents was, and I end up just trying to live, and that's what I got my mental health taken care of. I got on my medications. I finally dealt with what was deep in. It was hard to do, but I did it. And I might not be where I want to be, but at least I'm not back there. You see? So I'm going to stop right here, and I will come back with part 2. So if y'all like my story and y'all can relate, subscribe to me. Hit that like, hit that notification, hit that star button. Y'all can also hit my Cash App, whichever one y'all prefer. Just show me that y'all support and y'all understand what I'm been through. And if I can help somebody, please let me know. Thank you guys.